Hi boys and girls, so today we're going to be reading Chapter 3 of Night of the Spadefoot Toads by Bill Murray. By the time Ben reaches his driveway, his sneakers are soaked. He splashes in every puddle on the way up the driveway and comes in the side door into the kitchen. Agatha's already sitting at the kitchen table having a snack. She's got crackers lined up carefully on one side of her placemat and slices of cheese on the other. She's putting them together one at a time, singing a song she made up. Cracker, 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 cheese, cheese, cheese. Put them both together, remember not to sneeze. Dumb song, Ben says. I know, she says. It doesn't bother her at all. She stops her cracker and cheese game and holds up a note. This says that Mom will be home in an hour, Agatha announces. She left us cheese and crackers. Let me see, Ben says, reaching for the note. He reads it, hoping it will say something about his missing box. No such luck. Nothing but crackers and cheese and do the chores. Ben tosses his backpack on a kitchen chair and walks through the house, looking to see if the box has arrived. He runs up the stairs to his bedroom. No box there either. The room feels empty and lonely. The walls are bare except for a Boston Red Sox poster his father put up. Ben has always been an Arizona Diamondbacks fan, but his dad has promised to take him to see the Red Sox. Darn, Ben says loudly, wishing somebody was there to hear. Didn't come. Now he's in a bad mood. He goes back downstairs and heads to the kitchen for his snack. Agatha has finished her snack. She's brushing cracker crumbs into a pile in the middle of her placemat. Want to play a game? She asks. No, Ben says. He doesn't feel like any kind of game. Where's the rest of the crackers and cheese? I ate them. I thought you didn't want any because you went upstairs. Ben groans and opens a cabinet door. He pulls out a box of cereal and pours some out in his hand and wolfs it down dry. Want to watch TV? We're not supposed to on school days, Ben says. You know that. Want to draw pictures? No. Want to say no all the time? Agatha is just trying to be annoying. She has radar that tells her exactly how to annoy her older brother. What I want is for you to be quiet for once, he says. I can't. It's impossible. I have to breathe, and breathing makes sound, so I can't be quiet. Maybe you should stop breathing. Maybe you're a grouch, Agatha says. Because you're a pest, Ben shouts. He looks out the kitchen window. If it were Tuscan, he'd go outside, but he can't leave Agatha alone, and it's raining anyways. He's trapped. Help, he bellows. I'm trapped in a Massachusetts house with a dumb sister. I'm trapped with a dumb brother, Agatha yells back. She's having a great time. I may have to hang you by your feet, Ben mutters. You're not allowed to, Agatha says. Dad says so. Ben turns on the TV. His parents have strict rules about TV during the school week. But he's so annoyed, he doesn't care. Agatha hears it and comes in the room. Hey, she says, you said not to watch TV, and now you're doing it. It's so I don't murder you. You can't murder me either, Agatha says. It's against the law. She sits on the floor and stares at the screen. Before Ben knows it, they're both lost in the program, and then his mother is standing in the doorway of the family room. Why is the television on? She asks. Ben turned it on, said Agatha. What's going on here, Ben? His mother asked. You know the rules. I know, he said. But Agatha was driving me crazy, and we can't go outside because it's raining like always, and I can't find my box of stuff. Did it come? No, she says. Did you call the moving company again? I forgot, his mother says. Mom! Ben can hear the whine in his voice, but he can't help it. I'm sorry, Ben. I'll call them in a minute. Did you have a snack yet? Someone did, Ben says, glaring at Agatha. His mother goes up to the TV set to turn it off, but before she gets there, Ben flicks it off with the remote. Do you have much homework? She asks. Just some dumb math problems, he said. Why don't you do it now? I don't feel like it. He gets up from the couch and starts to walk out of the room. Oh, Ben, his mother exclaims, your shoes are all muddy. That's because I live in a rainforest, Ben says. He's a big grouch, Agatha says. Ever since we moved here, he's a big, grumpy grouch. Ben is out of the room now, but he hears what his sister is saying. I wonder why, he yells back. Maybe because I hate this place? Ben, His mother is mad now, and Ben knows it. It takes a lot to make her mad, and now he's on the verge of some serious trouble. But he doesn't stop. He has to get out of this house. He doesn't care if it's still raining. He doesn't care if his feet are wet and muddy. He doesn't care about anything but getting away for a while. He pulls on a hooded jacket and goes out the kitchen door. He figures he'll have to pay for yelling and walking out when he gets back. But he doesn't care. The rain splatters on the hood of his jacket as he circles around to the back of the house and stands there looking across the yard. It stretches 25 yards to a line of tall trees. Beyond that, the land slopes gently downward to some woods. Ben's been back there once or twice, but he's never gotten very far because the ground is so soggy. Now, he doesn't care if it's soggy. He just wants to go somewhere. Anywhere. He slogs across the lawn and passes underneath the trees. He squeezes through the shrubs that mark the back edge of the yard and peers into the woods. It's getting darker, but he can see It's getting darker, but he can see what looks like a faint path. A path he's never noticed before. His heart beating fast, he starts down the path. The rain trickles off his hood onto the nose and seeps through the shoulders of his jacket. He doesn't care. So what if it gets soaked? He walks slowly, willing himself to calm down and stay quiet. After a few yards, his heartbeat returns to a normal pace, and his mind stops racing quite so much. Then he stops. Did he hear something? He stands still and listens. It wasn't the rain hitting the branches overhead, or the sound of his feet scuffing the wet ground, or even his breathing. The faint noise begins again. It sounds like something calling, something living. A little shudder runs down Ben's spine, but he follows the path, moving farther away from the house. He has to fight his way through the underbrush, and twice he has to double back to find a place where his sneakers don't sink down into the muddy ground. Guided by the sounds, he pushes through to an open space that's even wetter. Thin trees stand alone and bare in several shallow pools where the raindrops are making circles upon circles on the surface. Here and there he sees green clumps of moss, but otherwise everything is brown and gray. Ben stands still. It's now completely silent again. He likes being out here by himself. It's not the desert, but he's alone and outside. He doesn't mind the rain. His feet are cold and wet, but they'll get dry again. Ben listens. He shivers a little, wondering how long he can stay outside and what he'll say when he gets back to his house. It's getting darker. Then he hears it. One silvery whistle. A chirp, a peep. Ben listens harder. It's not a bird. It sounds again, and then very close to him, another one sounds. He turns to look, but can't see anything. The noise seems to be coming from a clump of dead grass sticking out of the marsh. It's a clear bell-like chirp rising in pitch. It seems out of place in this dull gray landscape. Then something moves at his feet. Ben almost jumps out of his skin, but when he looks down, he can't see anything. A tingle goes up the back of his neck. Maybe it's a snake. Then it moves again, and Ben makes out a camouflaged shape among the brown and dirty green of the earth and plants. He leans over. It's a frog. He picks it up. Ben holds the creature in his hand until it calms down. He cups it with one hand and uses the fingers of his other to hold it carefully right in front of the back legs, like they showed him at the Desert Museum. It squirms in his hand, but Ben doesn't let go. He looks at it closely. He knows it's a frog, but not a toad. Its skin is smooth, and its legs are long. He has no idea what kind of frog it is. He's never seen one like it before. It's got ridges on its back and a black mask around its eyes, like a bandit. The rain continues to fall. His sneakers feel heavy and squishy on his feet. Ben strokes the frog's back, wondering if this was the thing that made the silvery chirp he had just heard. He holds the frog up to his face and looks at it closely. It just sits there. It doesn't seem to care if Ben holds him or not. Ben knows the frog is sluggish because it's cold-blooded, like snakes or lizards. It can't move very fast when it's really cold. The frog flattens itself in its hand. Ben? Ben? Ben hears his father's voice calling through the growing darkness. He's singing the name like it's part of a song, and Ben can't help but smile. His father is a great joker, and it sounds like he's in a good mood. The beam from a flashlight bobs up and down in the distance, coming toward him. In the dark, it almost looks like a ghost. Ben shivers again. It's time to go back. Just as he's getting ready to plop the frog back on the puddle, Ben thinks of Mrs. Tibbets with her long gray hair and hiking boots. He wonders what she would think of what he just found. He cradles the creature in both hands a moment longer, then slips it into his jacket pocket. "Come on, Mr. Frog," he says. "Pack your bags, it's time to move." Then he calls out, "Coming!" and plunges through the bushes and back onto the path. He finds his dad walking toward him, still wearing his office suit and his good raincoat. It seems funny to see him in the middle of a swamp in dress clothes. "Hey, you goofball," his father says. "Your mother sent me out here to find you. Have you noticed it's raining?" He puts his warm arm around Ben's shoulder and turns toward the house. "I was listening," says Ben. "To what, the rain?" Ben guesses his father isn't going to talk to him about yelling at his mom, which is good. "No, I was listening to something making a weird sound, like this high-pitched beeping." "Probably a killer snake," his father says. "Dad, there are no killer snakes here." "Yes, there are," his father says in a serious tone that shows he's kidding. "I happen to know they lie out here in this swamp behind our house, and they're 8 feet long, and they make peeping sounds right before they swallow boys who are dumb enough to stand out in the rain." "Come on, Dad," Ben says. "There was really something out there. You could hear it if you stopped." Ben stops walking, and so does his father. Peeps sound faintly in the wet air. "There, hear them?" "Definitely killer snakes," his father says. "Huge ones." Ben laughs. "Snakes don't make noises like that." "Suit yourself, but don't blame me if one swallows you up. Your mother probably won't mind. One less kid to worry about." Ben doesn't respond. They start walking again. "So what's up with school?" his father asks. "Oh, it's okay," Ben says. He puts his hand on the outside of his coat pocket and feels the shape of the frog inside. "Just okay, huh?" Ben doesn't want to talk about school. "Dad, what if you don't like your job here?" "Well, the good news is that I do like it." "What if you didn't, or it didn't work out just right? Would we move back home to Tuscan?" "No." "How come?" "Because I hate packing." "Really? How come?" "Ben, pal, this is our home now. We're staying here." His father pulls Ben close as they come in the backyard, but Ben slips out of the hug. He doesn't want to be close, not if they have to stay here. While everyone else is getting ready for dinner, Ben goes out in the garage and hunts around until he finds a small plastic bucket. He takes the frog out of his pocket and puts it in the small bucket, then covers it with a small window screen he finds leaning against the garage wall. "I don't have a good place for you, fella," he says, squatting down for a closer look. The frog sits in the bottom of the bucket, not moving. Ben thinks about taking the bucket in the house, but changes his mind. He doesn't want to explain it to Mom or have Agatha bugging him about it. Besides, he likes the idea of something that's just his and no one else's. He decides to leave it in the garage. He'll find a better place for it tomorrow. "At least it's warmer here than outside," he says to the frog, which doesn't seem to care where it is. Ben turns off the garage lights and goes inside. After dinner, Ben goes into his bedroom to do his homework. He's barely sat down when the phone rings. "I'll get it," Ben yells, almost knocking his chair over in the hurry to get to the phone. He grabs the receiver away just as Agatha picks it up. "Hey, no fair," she whines, but Ben's already got the phone to his ear. He covers the mouthpiece. "Life's not fair," he says. She sticks out her tongue and Ben speaks into the phone. "Hello?" "Hey, Snake Man," says a voice on the other end. Ben laughs. "Toby!" Wrong, Snake Man. This is Lizard Man. Tony is talking in a creepy, croaky voice that cracks Ben up and makes him more homesick than ever. Hi, Toby. How's Lenny? Ben asks. He's fine, eating stink bugs and sleeping. How's everything in Massachusetts? It stinks worse than the bugs. It's cold and wet, and the kids here are idiots. Wow, that's too bad. Yeah, Ben agrees. But maybe we won't stay here for too long. Maybe we'll move back. That'd be great. I could sure use your help. Larry Dunstan has been bugging the heck out of me. Oh, not him, Ben snorts. Yeah, what a turkey. They both laugh. They talk and talk until Ben's mother taps him on the shoulder. That's enough, she says. You've got homework. Mom, he pleads. It's enough for now. You can call back in a couple of days. I gotta go, Lizard Man, Ben says. Thanks for calling. I'll email you, and I'll call next week. Or you can call me. Okay, pal, stay in touch. Don't let Massachusetts kids bug you. Ben hangs up the phone. He wonders how talking to Toby can make him happy and sad at the same time. He goes to the computer in the family room and writes an email to Toby. Lizard Man, please rescue me from the monsters in Massachusetts. Only you can save me. Desert creatures unite. Snake Man.